The Russians have managed to disperse the production of Shahed kamikaze drones, making the complete destruction of their production capacity almost impossible. This opinion was expressed on air by the Reserve Major of the National Guard of Ukraine, veteran of the Russian-Ukrainian war, Alexey Getman. According to him, Russian occupiers can assemble drones of this type not in several places, but in more than 100 locations. We are already doing this. Our UAVs are assembled in many places. In fact, the production sites of Shahed UAVs are scattered throughout the country. Therefore, it is impossible to claim that we can completely destroy all production of these UAVs in Russia. As Getman notes, missile production is organized differently, which makes it more vulnerable to attacks. Specialized factories are needed to manufacture them. Such production is much more complicated, and sometimes it is impossible to disperse it throughout the entire territory of Russia, he explained. At the same time, the veteran stressed that Ukraine should continue to strike at the storage sites of these unmanned aerial vehicles. As is known, Iranian Shahed attack drones, which Russia actively uses in the war against Ukraine, have become one of the main threats to Ukrainian infrastructure and civilians. Despite the fact that production of the Shahed began in Iran, Russia eventually established its own assembly and adaptation of these UAVs on its territory. Recently, drones struck a plant in the Bucha Special Economic Zone in Tatarstan, where Shahed-type drones are manufactured. This was reported by the head of the Center for Countering Disinformation under the National Security and Defense Council, Andriy Kovalenko, on Telegram. Bucha in Tatarstan, where the Russians produce Shaheds, Gerani and various decoys, where they have increased production somewhat loudly and in some places successfully, he wrote. At the same time, it is noted that more than 6,000 drones were produced at this plant in Bucha in 2024 and thousands of decoy drones. This year, the Russians set a task to produce 8,000 to 10,000 Shaheds, geraniums per year and 15,000 decoy drones in Bucha, adds Kovalenko. As the reporter reports, there are strong strikes at the plant. One UAV was shot down. The remaining 5, with 250-kilogram bombs, flew right on target, the report said. According to Western intelligence and the Ukrainian military, the Russian Federation has been able to partially diversify their production, which makes it difficult to completely destroy this potential. In response to the drone threat, the Ukrainian armed forces began carrying out targeted strikes on warehouses, workshops, and production facilities associated with the production and storage of Shahed.
Witnesses described their shock as they recalled the moment a vehicle collided with a crowd of Liverpool soccer fans on Monday. According to Associated Press, the crowd was celebrating Liverpool's Premier League title triumph when a vehicle collided with the crowd packed into a narrow street, injuring 47 people, of whom 27 were taken to local hospitals, officials said. "I just can't fathom why anybody would do that, to get people hurt, especially the amount of children that were there," said Chelsea Yoon, who was in the parade with her friend and friend's daughter. "It's just really scary," she added. "We can't stop shaking." Other witnesses Stephen Ray and Peter Jones said the car narrowly missed them. "We could hear the thuds as the car hit, and people screaming and shouting, you could just hear it all," recalled Jones. British police said on Tuesday they were holding a 53-year-old man over the collision. Merseyside police said they were not treating the incident as terrorism and were not looking for other suspects. The force has not identified the arrested driver. Police in Britain usually do not name suspects until they are charged.
We heard all beeping and screaming, and when we looked up, there was a black people carrier driving straight towards us, and me and my friend Francesca jumped out the way and pulled her little girl out the way. And then as It must have been going about 30 miles an hour, and as it went past, we could see all the windows smashed in with loads of people chasing down the car. I'm just in shock, like, we can't stop shaking. And when we've seen the footage now of people lying on the road, I'm going to get choked up now. When you see that, it's just a shame to the end of a really, really positive day. And I just don't know the reason of this person doing it. I just can't fathom why anybody would do that to get people hurt, especially the amount of children that were there. It's just really scary.
There was loads of people chasing after it. People trying to get in. Somebody was going for the passenger door trying to get in. The back window was already smashed on it. There was like a dozen people chasing it, wasn't there? There was, yeah. And then, so I said to him, look, let's just keep going. And then as we started walking, we could hear the thuds as the car hit, and people screaming and shouting, and you could just hear it all. And then
as we were walking forward, we could see people sat to the side that were injured. There was people getting helped by other people on the side of the road, and then we could see policemen running down the middle of the road. They obviously didn't know what had happened, and it just happened in a flash.
United States President Donald Trump has lambasted his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, describing him as absolutely crazy after Moscow launched its largest aerial attack of the war on Ukraine. Trump's comments, issued on his Truth Social platform, marked a rare rebuke of Putin. I've always had a very good relationship with Vladimir Putin of Russia, but something has happened to him. He has gone absolutely crazy. The US president wrote, I've always said that he wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it, and maybe that's proving to be right, but if he does, it will lead to the downfall of Russia, he added. Yeah, I'll give you an update. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people. And I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time. Always gotten along with him. But he's sending rockets into cities and killing people. And I didn't like it at all. Okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all, US President said. Trump has been pressuring Russia and Ukraine to end the more than 3-year war, but the two sides remain far apart, and while major powers talk, the war is intensifying and Russian forces are advancing in eastern Ukraine.